Hello everybody, this is EC Spade or Magnum Pawn, making another Caro Kann Adventures game. This is 11 or 12, I can't remember. I think I have 11 recorded but not posted yet, so maybe I'll post that one first, but 11 or 12. So here we go. I use my d4 c6 opening to kind of bait a d4 player into the Caro Kann again. a6, you've seen this. So all this is standard for me. I don't like this bishop move here for white. It lets me kind of open the game up with my king. Probably even better here would have been to play it this way. So now I'm forking these two pawns. It creates a little bit more of a problem. It's harder to solve. Knight d2 tends to be kind of the best move here. I can't really win a pawn. Because we have lines like this. One, and then white's fine here, even though I've kind of opened up the queen side. He's got much more active pieces. I'm gonna have a hard time untangling over here. So this would have been all right. All right, so back to the main line. I went ahead and played queen b6, knight bd2. And now I took here. So I decided to go for queen to b4 here. I don't think it was a great move in hindsight. What I was hoping I'd see was c3, which it kind of worked out, because then I get this one. And he made a mistake here in castle, which lets me take c3 as well. Now, this game's still relatively even though I'm up pawns. He's got much more active pieces. All I have is my queen out here, which is kind of looking silly when I have like this whole back rank undeveloped. So he's got a huge development lead. One trick he can pull here is bishop takes, and now I can't really take back with my rook here because of queen b1, forking pawn and rook. So you can imagine if I, let's say I try to just tuck my rook back in here. Queen takes b7 is devastating. Knight d7, I lose a rook. And if I leave my rook out there, whoops, and try and defend this pawn, let's say with something like that, then of course this rook's getting snatched as well. So black's best option here is to just take this rook here, and let the queen take, and now I'm feeling pretty bad. Again, I'm underdeveloped. I've scooped some material up, so the material is pretty even, but I think you can clearly see that white's ahead here with this development. My king's looking silly in the middle. It's going to take me a while to get all this stuff out. So anyways, all of that is kind of sideline stuff. Where are we at here? Castles, queen takes, and he played rook to c1. So now I'm feeling pretty good. I got those two pawns. He's not attacking my b7 weakness, and I can untangle. Queen a5, he played a4. And then I move my knight out here to d7. Alright, so here he starts working on some tactics on the king side. I'm undeveloped here, so there's usually room for some tricks. You can see he's got two attacks on this pawn here. One option would have just been to play g6 and stop it all. I chose h6 instead. I'm not really sure why. In hindsight, I would have played g6. I just kind of didn't really think about it a whole lot. Okay, so here comes this knight sacrifice. I don't like it for white. I don't think any of this is real good for him. Okay, here's kind of where I made a mistake. I should have just played h takes and let him have the rook. And then for knight h6, he doesn't really have anywhere to put this queen to get it out. It's going to take him a little while. And I can't, of course, threaten the queen there either. But this lets me kind of get some activity. He's got to defend this pawn back here, for example. This kind of stuff is all good for me. Now he's the one with the silly queen while I'm developed. So, anyways, that's how I should have played that, by taking the two pieces he offered and offering him the rook in exchange. Instead, what I did here. Sorry, let's go back. I'm moving too fast. What I did here is I played knight takes on f6. So this gives him back some of the material, and it gives him, well, it gives us this line here. I think I would have been better right here if I had just played g takes, because now he's kind of run out of moves. I'm still up material. Instead, you know, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Here we go. So this position's relatively even. I'm still gonna have trouble developing here. I like white's position better in this spot here, just because my queen's kind of open, or my king is kind of open, and his is pretty well defended. Even though I'm up material, I think white's better here. Big mistake here for me, and he didn't catch it. This would have been devastating. Now you can see I'm kind of falling apart here. So this would have been real bad. He missed it, and he played queen to g4 instead. So I decided to defend this weak pawn here on e6. So at this point, this game was I was just feeling terrified. Like, I didn't feel like I was safe at all. I was kind of feeling silly for snatching all this queenside pawns up and giving him all this attack on the king side. My game's fine here, kind of, but when you play afraid, like I was afraid in this position, I felt like he had more opportunity to win the game than I did. I didn't like that. And when you're playing afraid, it's easy to make poor moves, you know, because of that fear. And so I needed to be more confident. And maybe I should change up my opening a little bit, castle a little earlier, maybe switch to a King's Indian opening or something, just to make myself feel comfortable and safe, so that when I'm looking for tactics, I'm not always terrified that he's going to smash me in the meantime. Okay, so his queen's trying to get embedded here. I played f5. Not real good. Again, I made a mistake. Moving my rook up here would have been a little bit better. I can run his queen out pretty soon. We'll see stuff like this. So now I'm tightening up my position here. My king's not nearly as unsafe, and I still have the material advantage. So this is better for black. We'll say, you know, rook f to e1. I can tuck my king back even further. Now I'm feeling real good. This is great. So I should have been looking for moves like this. Instead, I was still so afraid of this pawn here, so I went ahead and played f5. I don't know what I was doing, I guess. Just playing scared. So lots of bad moves, I think, in here. Neither one of us played with a big plan. So here's his big mistake. He played rook takes here. Now I'm up a piece when he did this. Like, I'm up a full piece here, and this is no good for him. If he had just taken here first, see how he's forking king and rook? I have to move back, and now when he checks me, he can just snatch that rook for free, and then white's clearly ahead here. So again, big mistake. It's funny how as soon as you start looking at your game afterwards, when you're not afraid anymore, suddenly these good moves start popping out to you. And then I stick it into crafty here and let the computer have a go at it, and I find even more. That was one that I saw right away. So one bad move deserves another. We keep try and keep this on lockdown here. So here's where I went wrong. This was okay, and I got afraid here, and I thought that I should have just played king to c7. He doesn't really have many threats. I mean, if he tried to play a check here, that's easy to deflect. He's got no more ways to get to my king ever, and he's got this huge back rank weakness, so he has to get back and defend that. And now he's got no attack left. His back rank is bad. I'm going to start developing with a rook on e4 probably. So there's real good lines for me here. So instead, I played rook to e6, attacking his queen, and I just walked right into this. Check here, and here's the two-move mate. Queen g3. Rook is the only way to block it, and then here's the mate. this is what happened over the board. I lost this stinking game. It was really disappointing because I felt like I had a good start with those pawns. I felt like the tactics on the king side. So I felt like the tactics over here on the king side were exciting, even though they were scary. And I was really sad to lose this game. I felt like it should have been a win for me. But that's all right. I was playing a higher rated opponent, and he spotted some tactics that I didn't, and that's kind of how these games work. It was clear he was a real aggressive player. I've found recently, I've been playing e4 as white, and I found that I'm having a lot of fun being aggressive. I've seen a lot of people for some reason playing the Petrov defense, which to me is kind of fun to play because you get your pieces out there all pointing at each other at the same time, and it's very tense. Anyways, yeah, I need to start playing a bit more aggressively, and not just with my queen on the queen side, but developing, castling earlier, and kind of getting back to the basics. I'm starting to get kind of tired of my same old Caro Kann stuff. So you may see the Caro Kann Adventure series kind of trickle off a little bit, and I might start working on some other stuff. Maybe I'll do a big study on the quiet game, the Italian game, or on the Roy Lopez or something, and try and get something else going like that. Keep an eye on my channel. Please subscribe. Give me some stars or likes or whatever the heck YouTube does now.